Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be testing the CYO Long Lasting Foundation. If you are new to my channel, then please click the subscribe button, that would really help me out. So basically in this video I'm going to be doing a first impression review, trying out this foundation. I picked it up, I've had it in my collection for about 6 months and I just haven't opened it and got around to using it because I've been trying to do a project plan and sort of not open anything until other things are finished with. The first person I heard talking about this was the Taylor on YouTube. I love her channel. She's also a very pale person, but slightly more of a cooler undertone, where I have a very fair sort of neutral undertone. But yeah, she raves about this foundation, and since she's been raving about it, like I've seen a few other YouTubers that I watch also try it out and say it's really good, so I just wanted to kind of test it to see if it's worth the hype. In the UK you can get this from Boots. I'm not sure where you can get it in the US, but I'm assuming like in a drugstore because it's a drugstore foundation. Just reading the claims on the website, and it says it's a medium coverage, 24-hour shift, feels light, looks smooth, never cakey. This foundation on the website claims 5 things: that the skin looks flawless yet natural, lasts all day, skin feels moisturised, transfer and smudge proof, and comfortable to wear. Oh yeah, and it says it's infused with vitamin E, which is meant to nourish the skin, and it also comes in 15 shades, I believe. I've got the lightest shade, which is 101, which claims to be a very fair neutral undertone, I think. I'm just going to shake it up just so I can swatch it. So this is what the foundation looks like swatched on the back of my hand, the shade 101. It looks a little bit darker than my skin, so that's a bit concerning at this point, but that is quite a heavy swatch. I was a bit worried because on the Taylor swatches, whenever she swatches it in all her foundation Fridays, it looks kind of grey. She says it's a great match for her, but for my skin, because it's quite neutral, I don't know. I feel like this is meant to be neutral, but I feel like that's definitely leaning slightly on the cool side. It's not super cool, but yeah, it's probably, well, on my hand, I'm not sure about on my face, but on my hand it probably looks like it's a shade too dark as well. But we'll see how it blends out on the face. Now, because this is a liquid foundation, I'm going to blend it out with a sponge because that's how I always apply my liquid foundations. I only ever really use a brush for like a stick, like cream product. So yeah, I'm going to use a sponge. I'm going to use my LA Girl sponge, which I'm really liking. It's a new sponge I've been using the past week. But yeah, to see difference in wear time, I'm going to test the primer that I always use, the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, on the right hand side of my face and not put it on the left hand side to see if there's any difference in the wear of the foundation. So yeah, I'm just going to put it on my right hand side. Oh, and I forgot to say as well, before I put that primer on, I moisturise as I usually would with my Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturiser. So yeah, I'm guessing this foundation is meant to be good for dry skin just because it's meant to be like hydrating and non-cakey. I've heard from the Taylor, she says it's quite a dewy foundation, which I'm quite excited about because I have kind of dry to normal skin. Well, I do have dry skin, but because all of my skincare routine, it kind of almost makes me have normal skin on a good day, if that makes sense. See, I'm not sure how much I need to use. Oh, it's not pumping out. Oh, the pump is a bit aggressive on this. It's like firing it on my hand. It's not a thick foundation, it's just kind of average. It's not super runny. See, I think I'll go in on the prime side first and just do it as it says, dot it around my face. I might zoom you in a little bit actually. Now, it'd be good to see the coverage. I have got a few spots on my chin at the minute, so I'm not expecting it to cover it because it says it's medium coverage, but see how much it tones it down. So that was like one pump. Let me blend it in with a sponge. So with one pump, I've got quite light coverage, I would say. You can still see my spot. Yeah, it just looks really light. So I'm going to go in with another pump or two on the right hand side. See if I can build this up to medium. And then blending it in with my sponge. Yeah, so that's built up a bit. I don't know if you can see, like you can see my freckles more and the spot on this side, but it hasn't completely covered that spot. I'd say it's probably a light medium coverage using 2 pumps on one side. So now I'm just going to go in and do the non-prime side. I'm not a fan of this pump, it's really temperamental. But so far it seems to be blending out really easy with a sponge. And it's not gripping to any dry patches, which is good. This foundation says you can use a sponge, brush or fingers. So do what you like to do, basically. And I'm just going to go in with another layer. So that's the foundation applied on both sides now. I'll just zoom in so you can see. So this is how it looks. Like I said, I think it's a light to medium coverage. You can still see my big spots that I've got. It's kind of masked them, but you can still see some redness, so I'm going to have to go in with concealer, cover those up. But generally speaking, it looks really nice. Like you can see that kind of like glow it's giving me. It's not overly dewy, but it's definitely dewy. Not overly dewy in the sense it doesn't make me look oily, but I feel like it's looking really nice at the minute. I don't really like a full coverage. If you like a full coverage, then you probably won't like this because it's not full coverage. For my personal preference, I'm quite liking how this is looking just on first impression. In the beginning of the video, I was saying I was a bit worried about the shade maybe being a slightly bit too pink for me, but I don't know, if you look at my neck and also a bit too dark, you can see kind of a little bit of a difference, but it's not drastic that you think, oh my god, her face is a different colour. I feel like I can get away with this shade because it isn't so like full coverage, like it is a bit more buildable coverage. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup and just check back in with you to tell you how everything went on top. Hi, so I'm back and I finished the rest of my makeup. All my makeup went on really nicely on top of the foundation, and I forgot to say when I was filming before, I can't really see a difference between the primed and the unprimed side. They look equally nice and it applied on top as equally nice. The only comment I have to say is I think the shade, like I said, is a little bit off. I was looking in the bathroom in other lighting, and I think the shade is, I'm not really sure if it's the undertone, I feel like it's leaning a bit too pink for me, but it's also probably maybe half a shade or a shade too dark. So I think that when I try this foundation again, I'm going to mix in a little bit of my white mixer and see if the shade improves and looks a bit better for my skin tone. Just because I am a bit more fairer and neutral than this foundation is. Like the actual foundation, I am so impressed. It looks really nice. So this is what it looks like. Like I said, you can see all the freckles coming through because it's not full coverage, but it just looks like so smooth. Although it's dewy, it's kind of set down quite well. It's not transferring on my hand, so that's good. Yeah, I think I kind of believe the claim that it's hydrating. It does feel hydrating. Medium coverage I agree with, although it's kind of light medium coverage. Oh yeah, transfer proof. I think it's transfer proof. And well, the main claim is it's meant to be long lasting, so I'm not going to do check-ins with this because I've kind of got a busy day. I'm going to leave in the description box down below how this wore and sort of my final thoughts, because this video probably won't go up until like a couple of weeks time, so I'll use it a few more times and leave my final thoughts in the description box down below. Oh, and I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, my hair looks a bit of a mess because I slept in these plaits because I'm trying to not use like straighteners as much, so to style it I've been kind of going to bed with plaits. So yeah, that's why my hair looks a bit messy. So yeah, I think that's the end of this video. If you did like it, then please thumbs it up and don't forget to subscribe as well, that'd really help me out. I've done a few other first impressions and like is it worth the hype videos on my channel, so if you would like to, then please go check them out on my videos on my channel. I'd love for you to have a little watch of them. So my overall first impression is this gets the thumbs up from me. I really like this CYO foundation. Really impressed as well because the price, I think it's £7.50 from Boots. Yeah, you get the standard 30ml in here, so standard foundation. It's nice that it's got a pump, although the pump is a bit cheap and dodgy, but yeah, overall really like it first impression. Thanks for watching, bye.